I am the king.
Shah Rukh is without a doubt one of the world's most popular actors. He's also one of the world's finest actors. He has fans in every corner of the world, reaching people of all ages and walks of life, including millions of fans who don't speak Hindi. While his Bollywood career celebrates its 30-year anniversary on the 25th of June in 2022, it's his earlier works that paved the way. SRK came from humble beginnings. Born into a Muslim family in India, he is the youngest child of the late Latif Fatima Khan and Mir Taj Muhammad Khan, and he has an older sister Shinaz Lalam Khan. As a teenager, SRK excelled in a variety of subjects at the St. Columba School, including sports that were his primary passion, from cricket to football and hockey in particular. He aspired to become a professional athlete. However, owing to a severe back injury during a game of football, those dreams were shattered, and instead he would turn his focus to theatre. In 1985, at the age of 19, SRK enrolled at Hansraj College, where he would later graduate to earn a bachelor's degree in economics. After his graduation in 1988, he began studying for a master's degree in mass communication and simultaneously joined Delhi's theatre group, led by Barry John, the mentor whom SRK largely was responsible for pursuing a career in acting. He later attended the Delhi School of Drama to further hone his thespian skills. It was here where SRK would land his first roles in television. He starred in many Indian serials such as Circus, Dasra Keval, You Made, and other productions. But it was the series 4G that would attract the attention of renowned Bollywood directors, firmly putting his name on the map.
Yes, me. वो क्या है वो यहाँ हमारी आर्मी में कस्टम है कि हम सीनियर ऑफिसर को विजिट करते हैं, तो उसी कॉल पे मैं यहाँ पे हूँ. आप कैप्टन है सर, मैम.
While his acting career began to take shape, his personal life would take a tragic turn. SRK had lost his father early during his teenage years, an event from which he would not recover to this day. In 1991, at the age of 25, his mother fell sick and eventually died prematurely. SRK has stated that his mother was the most important person in his life, and it was this loss that led him to the decision to leave his hometown, Delhi, for Mumbai to pursue a career in Bollywood. He married his longtime girlfriend Gauri, and upon arrival to the home of the biggest film industry in the world, he'd sign 5 films back to back and launch a career that, to this very day, is one of a kind. It didn't take long for SRK's career to take off. While starting out with minor roles in Dil Ashna Hai and a supporting role in Divana, the latter would ultimately launch his career as it became a box office hit and won him his first award for Best Newcomer.
The first time I'm getting an award, a major award in the film industry, and she's still not here. So this one goes out to her. This one's for you, Mom. Thank you very much.
Enter 1993, and his popularity would explode and earn him instant stardom. However, he would gain critical acclaim not by playing hero-type roles. Instead, his rise to massive fame came about through the portrayals of villains.
मुझे माफ कर देना.
These were roles that established stars of the time would refuse, as an anti-hero role was generally regarded as unfavorable to one's career. It was an unusual beginning, as most actors before him set out to launch their careers with classic characters that would be deemed heroic by audiences. And against all odds, these films neither sabotaged nor typecast SRK as an actor.
तुमने शिवानी को मारा? आप यहाँ क्या कर रहे हैं? तुमने मारा? तुमने शिवानी को मारा?
विजय साहब, ये मेरा पर्सनल मामला है, आप बीच में मत बोलिए, एंड प्लीज गेट आउट ऑफ हियर.
तुमने शिवानी को मारा?
आई से गेट आउट. आउट.
तुमने शिवानी को मारा?
आउट.
तुमने शिवानी को मारा?
गेट आउट.
तुमने शिवानी को मारा?
गेट आउट.
तुमने शिवानी को मारा?
गेट आउट. आई से
शिवानी को मारा?
गेट आउट.
It allowed him the creative freedom to explore whatever role he wanted. His immense versatility and unconventional acting style stood out and instantly established him as an actor to be taken seriously. And so it is to no surprise that the awards for best performances would keep pouring in, and ultimately make him the face of a young, emancipated and progressive thinking generation.
कोई बात नहीं सेन्योरिटा, कोई बात नहीं. बड़े-बड़े देशों में ऐसी छोटी-छोटी बातें होती रहती हैं.
With SRK's acting career in full throttle, his thespian ability wasn't the only trait for which he would make a name for himself. Being known as a well-read, avid thinker and progressive mind, he'd soon be invited to speak at public events on societal issues, political issues, religious topics, and education.
And I've learned from these people that neither power nor poverty can make your life more magical or less torturous. I've learned from the people of my country that the dignity of a life, a human being, a culture, a religion, a country, actually resides in its ability for grace and compassion. I've learned that whatever moves you, whatever urges you to create, to build, whatever keeps you from failing, whatever helps you survive, is perhaps the oldest and the simplest emotion known to mankind. And that is love.
SRK's philanthropic efforts, especially in the field of education and women empowerment, would win him worldwide recognition and establish him as an intellectual voice in a world largely dominated by glamour and superficiality. His ability to express complex thought in simple words add to the accessibility and, for this reason, make him relatable to millions of people from all walks of life.
The fact is that there's nothing special about Shah Rukh, and it is difficult to explain how ordinary I am. Because
is that honesty or is that false modesty?
And that is honesty.
I mean, you genuinely say that you're a very ordinary person.
I am a very ordinary person, yeah.
One of SRK's main qualities is that of an all-consumed artist. The love and pride for his craft as well as his own country would soon propel him to take on larger endeavors that would aid in revolutionizing Indian cinema. In 1999, SRK, his close friends Juhi Chawla and Aziz Mirza founded a production company by the name of Dreams Unlimited. They produced 3 films, Fir Bhi Dil Hai Hindustani, Ashoka and Chalte Chalte. While the former didn't do well at the box office, the latter two garnered decent success. However, it wasn't enough to keep the company afloat, and so in a little over 3 years, Dreams Unlimited will be no more.
एक बार बोलो माँ, एक क्षण के लिए बोलो.
Undeterred by the loss of his first production house, SRK kept pushing ahead, forging his new company Red Chillies Entertainment with his wife Gauri Khan in 2002. Under the new banner, Red Chillies would soon establish itself as one of India's leading film studios and production companies. But that wasn't all. In the pursuit of advancing Indian cinema and creating new standards that could be on par with, or even exceed, the standards of Western cinema industries, Red Chillies opened a new sector called Red Chillies VFX. And it is with this addition that the company would climb up the ranks as being one of the few production houses that would revolutionize the face of cinema in the eastern subcontinent, and all of it made in India.
क्यों पीते हो इतना कि बर्दाश्त ही न कर पाओ?
कौन कमबख्त बर्दाश्त करने को पीता है? हम तो पीते हैं कि यहां पर बैठ सकें, तुम्हें देख सकें, तुम्हें बर्दाश्त कर सकें.
One of SRK's thespian trademarks is his ability to transform into a role and make it his own. And while the exterior will still look like SRK, he has that rare gift to swap out his interior entirely and fill it with new life, a new set of characteristics, facial expressions, and mannerisms. He remains instantly recognizable and yet inherently different at the same time. And it is this versatility that would allow him to slip into the most diverse roles, each one of them as unique as the next. This trait would allow him to roam freely in the realm of exploring vastly different characters and film genres. He'd play a warrior, a fool, a criminal, a psychopath, a lunatic, a lover, and everything in between. SRK's artistic drive and seemingly infinite curiosity led him to venture into a variety of films, that are experimental in nature. While some of them were hits, the majority of these films followed formulas that were not tailored to mass audiences. For that reason, it comes as no surprise that some of his least appreciated films contain some of his finest roles.
Two options. Handcuffs if you're nasty, without handcuffs if you're nice. Nasty.
From the very start, it was apparent that SRK would be a force to be reckoned with, and for as long as he would keep making films. And even though he transforms into every character he plays, he has stated repeatedly that he isn't a method actor.
I'm like an empty vessel, which you can fill, and I will take the shape of love in terms of जिस shape में आप वो vessel जाते, like so इम्तियाज vessel, ESG vessel, and I really believe that.
His brand of acting is one that is intrinsic in nature. It's unconventional and intuitive. If you've seen some of his movies, what instantly becomes clear are two elements that are immediately visible: the immense wealth of authentic facial expressions and his massive intensity. One of the common misconceptions of the art of acting is that actors who use minimal facial expressions are the go-to, the de facto standard. And if a person's approach to acting doesn't conform with this standard, his style is often deemed as overacting. More often than not, these types of notions stem from comparing actors of a country that isn't North America, in short, Hollywood icons. The truth is that the perceived standard is owed to popularity and is not intrinsic to the craft. And what is left out are the mentality, the mannerisms and expressions that are inherently tied to an artist's culture. An actor born in Italy, working in the Italian industry, will have different mannerisms than an actor who was born into German culture, playing in German films. The same holds true for any culture. Taking a ruler and measuring the most popular style in one culture and using it as a blueprint for every other culture not only undermines the beauty of the craft itself, it also cripples the vastly rich expressions of other cultural norms. SRK belongs to a rare breed of actors who have maintained artistic sincerity in not limiting themselves to what is deemed popular. Instead, SRK approaches his craft with the integrity and rawness the art form deserves. His mannerisms are rich and varied, his display of emotions are unapologetically authentic. This is what allows his audience to relate and resonate with whichever character he portrays. And it is this gift and earnest approach to acting that has hailed him the king of acting. And it looks like we, his fans, have a lot to look forward to.
Good to go, Chief.
Ready.